Hey guys, this is Havoc1996 here, and today I'm going to be showing you a mock of the Battle of Muunilisnt from the 2003 Star Wars Clone Wars TV series. Now, originally with this mock I was going to do the scene where it shows the Republic clones on the speeders with their lances and assassin droids on their speeders with their lances and Obi-Wan Kenobi and Dirge, but I don't have a whole lot of or I don't have as much speeders as the clones that I have on this mock. As you can see, like I only have 2 of those kinds of clone speeders and only 2 of these assassin droid type speeders, and I know that the speeders are not for the assassin droid is not the speeder that they used for the assassin droids in the Clone Wars, in the 2003 Clone Wars show, but I just gotta get kind of imaginative with that part, I guess, or whatever you want to call it, or I don't know. So let's get on with the mock, and we'll start off with the ground detail. So with the ground detail, there's not a whole lot to talk about because mostly, as you can see here, this mock, it's just like bare, flat ground, most of it. But like some of the, or pretty much the main ground detail of this mock is these little Lego pieces here scattered around, or all scattered all over the mock. And if you have seen the 2003 Clone Wars show and you saw the scene, if you look closely on the ground, you can see all these little rock pieces, or like little stones, or a lot of pieces of rock sort of scattered all over the ground in the battle. And so yeah, I pretty much like did that for ground detail, and that's pretty much the only thing that you see here. Yeah, now for the structures on the mock, like for detail, you see that there's like a lamp post right there. Like, of course, on the city that you see the battle happening on the planet of Muunilisnt, you can see that there are some lamp posts or light posts or something like towards like the entrance of the city, and so I like wanted to add one of those in this, and that over here we got like another kind of a structure, but a piece, but it's not like anything that you see in that battle, so you can say that's just kind of a random kind of a structure that I just decided to make and create. So yeah, there's that. And over here, this piece right here, it's supposed to be like a spire piece or something that fell or came off from like a artillery blast and just fell to the ground and kind of crashed right there. And you can see that there's like pieces that scattered around this object make it look like impact on the ground, and it made a sort of, I wouldn't want to call it a crater, but hopefully you guys know what I mean, or what I'm trying to say. And for like where this piece could have came, where this piece could have came from, imagine that like about like say like maybe right around here there was like a building right here, and that when one of the Republic artillery tanks fired, it ended up hitting that building and causing this little spire structure piece to fall off and crash on the ground like that. So yeah, that's all the ground detail and structure pieces. So let's move on to the action of this mock. So we'll start on this side, of the droid side, and we'll move on to the clone side. As you can see right here, this one assassin droid is on a speeder and is moving his way towards the clones. And the lance, as you can see, well, actually, sorry, I'll get to the lance thing later on. So like as you see here, that there's battle droids and super battle droids throughout in this side of the mock. Now right here you got 2 rows of 4 battle droids moving their way onward to fighting the clones. And then right here, this part, I don't know if you could tell, but this one battle droid right there is the battle droid commander, and the battle droid commander and 3 other battle droids, they get blasted by a clone rocket launcher. Should be from this clone right here. And now the reason why I used blue pieces to make the explosion-like design, like in the Clone Wars, in the recent Star Wars the Clone Wars TV shows, and even in the 2003 Clone Wars shows, you don't see a blue projectile launching from the clone rocket launchers, and you don't see a blue explosion. But if y'all have played the game, remember from the Star Wars Battlefront 2 game, the Clone Heavy Troopers rocket launcher, it fires a blue projectile, and the explosion when it hits its target is blue. So imagine it like that. Yeah. As you can see, I kind of use like some small blue or medium blue studs, if you want to call them, well, not studs, but pieces, and then like a couple big ones right in the middle there, and then some blue flame pieces, which I think adds a pretty cool effect to this explosion. If you can tell right there, I got one stuck on one battle droid's back, which I think is kind of cool, really cool. And then so we got 4 super battle droids right here. One's been shot down. I got 2 on the outside here, and then they got this one other that's being taken down by a ARC Trooper Lieutenant. And if you have seen the 2003 Clone Wars show, you remember in this one part in the Battle of Muunilisnt, you see a ARC Trooper Lieutenant signaling for the artillery tanks to move in. So I wanted to, yeah, have a ARC Trooper Lieutenant, and it's the clone that I used for this one character is one of the Episode 2 Attack of the Clones clone lieutenants, one of the new versions of the Phase 1 clone armor, and the black ARC Trooper Clone Wars gear, pauldron, chem armor, and rangefinder, and he's wielding a Clone Army Customs ARC Trooper rifle, if you can see it there. Yep, right there. And now over here we got a dead battle droid over here. It's been shot down, and this piece right here, the assassin droid, with the that's being stuck on the lance, and the lance being stuck on the battle droid. I'll get to that in a minute. So again, these other two super battle droids here. And we got another battle droid, sort of taking the lead in the charge against the clones. So now as we move further in, right here beside this structure we got one dead clone, and I'm gonna go ahead and say that all the clones that are not on speeders are wielding Clone Army Customs weapons. So, like as I said, again, this ARC Trooper Lieutenant is wielding the ARC Trooper rifle or blaster. This dead clone is wielding the Clone Army Customs DC-15 blaster rifle. This one's wielding the blaster rifle. And the same over here. This clone, like, it looks like he's really running, sprinting, but he's actually falling to his death. So he's wielding the DC-15 blaster from Clone Army Customs, and this clone right here is wielding the rocket launcher from Clone Army Customs. So yeah, got that out of the way. Now, this clone right here on the speeder is holding the assassin droid right there with his lance, and how the assassin droid got to the point of being stabbed and lifted by the clone's lance is where he was on his speeder, and he'll be coming in like this way to move across the droid forces, and it looks like that he's kind of like coming in like this and then trying to move in over here. But what ends up happening is that this clone on the speeder, he catches the assassin droid and ends up knocking him off the speeder with his lance, and it causes the assassin droid's speeder to crash and blow up. See this one part of the speeder right there, another piece there, and as you can see I added like some Lego flame pieces sort of all over this Moc. I mean, no, well, sorry, not Moc. Sort of all over this speeder. Right there, you see I put one like actually on the speeder, or the rest of them are on orange Lego pieces. Oh, and that's another one that's directly on the speeder. So this assassin droid here, how he ended up on this lance, and how the lance ended up on the battle droid. Let's get creative with this one. So what would happen here is that like this assassin droid on his speeder will be coming from this direction, like moving towards over here, and then you get like a clone speeder moving in this direction, and obviously like this would not happen, but the assassin droid, the clone would use his lance, and he jabs at the assassin droid, and then he like quickly lifts his lance up and smashes it against the battle droid that's already destroyed on the ground. And the assassin droid speeder would kind of keep on moving in this way and crashing further this way. So that's that. Now over here, as you guys have already seen, as we get further to the clone lines, got this clone right here is firing, and of course it looks like he's firing at the structure, but obviously he's not. He's firing at the droid forces over here from the right side of the structure, and then, like as I said again, you got this clone just falling to his death after getting shot, and then another clone here firing at the droid ranks, and then the clone with the rocket launcher, like he just shot a blast at the battle droids and causes the destruction of those 4. So and then this clone on this speeder is moving towards this assassin droid on his speeder. And now, when I was looking for lances, like, I was looking for these kinds of lances. Like, I remember having more than just one of these black medieval lances, but apparently, after a long time of searching through this big Lego box I have, I just can't seem to find them. So, yeah, so you only see one of those lances, and it's on this clone. And then I had to get creative with these other lances, with these other guys. And that with these 2 lances, this one right here, and this one right here, I had to take 3 Lego pieces to make these lances with these 2 right here. This lance that, or this piece that I made into be a lance, is just one piece. So now onto the most famous characters of this MOC. First off, we got my own custom-made Lego Dirge. Now, if you can tell with his face, I took a black Sharpie and did the face design on a plain gray Lego head. And same thing with this circular Lego plate, I guess you could call it, that I stuck on this body armor. I took a blue Sharpie and I tried to do my best to copy the symbol that is on Dirge's chest, right there. And then on the back, of course, it's Dirge's jetpack. And of course, with the head, with the helmet, the top of his helmet, even you could count Dirge's face to be, or the face I used for Dirge to be the helmet. Now the top part, the outside part of his helmet is, of course, obviously a Lego Medieval Knight helmet. And then the legs I used for Dirge, if you can't see it clearly, I used Lego Medieval Knight legs. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it clearly. He's wielding a old version of a Lego revolver, which looks pretty darn accurate to the shape of the pistols that he used. And there's the other one right there. And then right here we got Clone Army Customs Obi-Wan Kenobi in his Clone Wars armor that he wore in the 2003 Clone Wars show. The helmet is a new version of the Phase 1 Clone Trooper armor or helmet. And then I had to use the Clone Wars face of Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Clone Wars hair of him, because I don't have any Episode 2 Lego Obi-Wan figure with the face and hairpiece, so to use this one from the Phase 1 Star Wars: The Clone Wars Obi-Wan figure, as you could say. But the head and hair that came with this Clone Army Customs Obi-Wan Kenobi is the second version of the Clone Wars Obi-Wan face and a plain hair piece instead of this one that's on this Obi-Wan. And so, and then let's talk about how the two characters are in the position that they are in now. So, like Obi-Wan and Dirge, they start fighting each other like around in this area. Obi-Wan manages to knock this pistol out of Dirge's left hand. And some more fighting. Dirge manages to just grab Obi-Wan and throw him over this destroyed speeder. Obi-Wan lands right there, which ends up knocking his helmet off. Actually, he crashes on that point. And then Obi-Wan gets back up, and Dirge continues to fire some more shots from his other pistol. And while he's doing that, he launches his spike chain, or whatever it's called. Don't know what it's really called. But he takes that weapon, he launches it at Obi-Wan, and if we go from a top view, you can see that the Dirge is kind of facing a different direction that this end of his weapon is at. Because, like, now after Obi-Wan got up, like, he'll be standing, like, right here. And after Dirge, like, launches his weapon, kind of going this way, Obi-Wan uses the lightsaber to knock it away into a different direction. So, yeah, that's how that spot would go. And I tried so many times to get a better way of this end of this weapon to not necessarily stick, but to be on the lightsaber, like to make it look a little more less goofy or whatever. But that's just what I ended up having to do. So yeah. Well, we pretty much gone over the whole of the Moc. So yeah, we'll get on to the conclusion of this video. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this Moc. I kind of realized that my last couple of Mocs are not that too great, and as the other ones before, but I really do hope y'all enjoyed this Moc, and I think that this is I think I've done a really better job with this one than with my last Moc, especially with my last Moc. But yeah, I got one more Moc left to plan on doing before the release of my fourth Lego Star Wars stop motion movie, and an update on that. It is still in progress. Like, I still got some more dialogue left to do. It's just been kind of busy few weeks or so with American history tests in summer school, and then with chores due at home and all that stuff. So yeah, it's still a work in progress, but I am determined to get it done and to release it for you guys. So yeah, this is Havoc1996 sign off, and see you guys around.